Hey everyone, my name is Elizabeth. Welcome back to my channel, and I will be reviewing episode 5 of The Bachelor. Let's get into it. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you think in the comments below. We open with a rose ceremony. And the girls are all dressed up, and Matt comes in. It's come to his attention that there is some yuckiness in the house, and he doesn't like it. And there seems to be a competition between the new girls that came in the other week and the old girls. He doesn't like this, and he doesn't like the thought of anybody being bullied in the house or anything like that. So he takes Brittany aside and talks to her first out of all of the girls. And Brittany sits down and she's just like, again, there's something about her I don't trust. There's something about her reaction that I'm just not connecting with for some reason. But she sits down with him and she's like, yeah, the girls are bullying me and like basically calling me a slut and a whore and saying that I pay, that men pay me for sex and all this other stuff, and I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And like, I've never been through anything like this before. But again, no tears. Again, I don't know, no tears. And so anyway, he assures her that that's not something, like she shouldn't have to go through that. It's not fair to her, blah, 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 blah. And so he asks her who's been saying this, and she names Anna. He calls Anna in and talks to her and basically is like, yeah, I can't have that kind of behavior here. So, and I'm not even feeling you like that. So I got to let you go, basically. And dang, I kind of feel sorry for Anna because Victoria is the one that should go home. Out of any of the ladies, it's Victoria that should go home, and she does. We'll talk about that. But I just thought that was kind of unfair, but also, I mean, yeah, you can't come in here spreading really wild, nasty rumors like that and then expecting nothing to happen to you. Basically, the girls get a talking to from Matt about bullying. And all of the girls are sitting there wondering, how did he know about the drama in the house? Who told him about the rumors being spread about Brittany? Like, wait a minute, who told him that? And Katie's just sitting there kind of like awkwardly quiet, not saying anything. Yeah, he walks Anna out of the ceremony and everyone's like, oh my God, Anna's going home? Whoa, is it because of what she said? Oh my God. So all the girls are starting to freak out now, and they're all going up and apologizing to the new girls. Like, and it's kind of amazing. I'm just sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable in any sort of way. I'm really, 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 really sorry. So it's a whole shit show of the girls apologizing. And then he pulls another new girl aside. Ryan is her name. And he pulls her aside to talk to her because I think Katie also tells him that she had been bullied as well. And Ryan basically calls out Victoria and basically is like, Victoria is mean. She called me a hoe because I was a dancer, and she starts crying about that. And at first I was like, really, girl, you're gonna cry because somebody called you a hoe because you're like a professional dancer? But then I was thinking, as a dancer, like in music videos and like as a dancer, choreographer, this is probably something people say to her often, and so it probably triggered her or hit a sore spot or something. Right. The thing about Matt is like, he's so confused by Victoria being a part of the drama at all. And I'm like, she starts everything. But he even says like, oh, I knew she was a little obnoxious, but I thought it was just because she had a big heart. I didn't know she was really being mean. Anyway, Matt calls in Victoria and has a sit down with her. And he's basically like, what's going on? Like, the girls are saying that you're being mean. You called Ryan a hoe. And Victoria tried to play it off and was like, oh, that was just a joke. That was just a joke. She took me out of context. And I love Matt for this part because he's like, okay, well, what context would calling somebody a hoe like be a joke or be something to be laughed at? Like, can you explain that to me? And she's like, doesn't know what to say. Does not compute. Her brain is like breaking in that moment. So he basically gets up and walks away from her and is like, yeah, I got some decisions to make about this rose ceremony tonight. And so she is freaking out. She's freaking out and she's like, oh my God, because she saw Anna go home. She's like, oh my God, am I going to go home next? Like, I'm not even a dramatic person. Like, what is wrong with you, Victoria? She's saying all this stuff about like how she's the kindest hearted person in this entire cast, and she can see her and Matt together and all this, just doing a bunch of stuff, being extra, throwing a temper tantrum. We finally get to the rose ceremony. He gives out the roses, and finally Victoria goes home. Finally, he doesn't pick Victoria, but he also doesn't pick Mira or Myra, whatever. That was another person that I thought was going to make it all the way to the end. I'm really surprised. Serena C was the last person called to get the rose. And I think that she was surprised that she got the rose from Matt. But what was hilarious was that, after, when you don't get picked, you get a chance to go up to Matt and hug him and say goodbye to him and goodbye to the girls and all this stuff. And so everyone's doing that. And of course, Victoria makes it extra. It looks as if none of the girls say goodbye to her or hug her or anything, which I'm thinking that's just editing, I'm guessing, or I don't know. And once it's her turn to walk up to Matt and like give him a hug and say goodbye, she basically comes up and is like, I honestly feel sorry for you that like you can't even, that you would listen to someone you just met over someone you've known for like weeks. And stands there and looks at him, and he just looks at her. He didn't even say anything. He just looked at her like, bye. And she just walked off really upset. And in her confessional, she's like, he doesn't even deserve me. Like, I said all of that and he just looked at me. And I'm like, yeah, girl, because he never liked you from the beginning. And I can't wait to see Victoria on the reunion. I think that's what everybody's kind of waiting for. And I'm curious as to how she's going to use this to her advantage. Is she going to come back to the reunion and basically like be even more of a bitch, or double down on the bitchness and like is like, yeah, I want to, that's probably what she's going to do. But finally she goes home, finally. Oh, and Lauren. Bye-bye, Lauren. Lauren didn't make it either. It's the next day and it's time for another one-on-one date. And Rachel gets the one-on-one date with Matt. And they go on a date. Their date is just like a shopping spree. He takes her shopping. We meet a designer. They're going over clothes and everything. And she's like, oh, I'm this small town girl and I've never worn shoes more than $40 before. And so he gives her some red bottoms and it's like, oh my God. And she's like, so amazed by Matt. And she's like, oh, Matt, you're out of my league. And I just never thought I could be with someone like you. And I don't think very much of myself, blah, 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 blah. And, it's cute. She's cute. They like each other. It's a thing. I wish she had a little bit more confidence because this is like the 5th week and she's still so shaky around him, like physically shaking and nervous. And like, you could tell she doesn't know what to do with her hands. And like, I don't know, she seems like a little girl or something. And it's like, whatever. I think it's just because I can see her going all the way. Like, I feel like she's one of the girls he's going to propose to. Oh, and then also during the date, they basically tell each other that they love each other. So that's that. We know she's going on to the end, and that's that. So whatever. Another group date, and now they're doing farm stuff. The date consists of farm things. I don't understand that. They're like cleaning stalls and scooping up poop and playing in hay, and it's rainy and it's wet, and it just doesn't look like a fun date at all. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And even some of the girls don't like it. And then MJ, poor MJ. MJ is trying to show off, and she's trying to kind of like show herself in these group dates and like be the first one to do things. And at one point they're playing with chickens and MJ's afraid of the chickens, and it's just, it's not going well. Her trying to like show herself is just not going well. So she tries to be cute and like throw something at Matt, and like he runs away and she tries to chase after him. And while he's running, he runs directly into Piper, who is doing a little one-on-one interview off to the side with the crew. And so he runs into her interview, and then he just starts kissing her, just making out. And MJ is like 3 steps behind him, and all the other girls are like, wait a minute. They kind of just look and they're like, damn, he's just making out with Piper. Well, okay, all right, okay. It's awkward. It's an awkward scene. He's kind of running around like a little kid, you know what I mean? And he goes back to MJ and throws his arms around her and is like playing with her a little bit. It's just, yeah, it's like he's like a kid in a candy store. And all the other girls are kind of grossed out by the whole situation. We get to the second half of the group date, and they're sitting down with Matt and Abigail. Abigail gets some time with him, and she's talking to him, and she's just like, I just want to make sure that like you still like me. I got the first impression rose, and like I haven't really been talking to you or hanging out with you. I haven't gotten a one-on-one. Like, do you like me? And Matt's reassuring her, no, like I like you. I want you to be here. And she says that she has a fear of really talking about her disability or being vulnerable because her father left. Her father left her family right after her older sister got the first hearing aid implant. I think that's what it's called, or I'm saying that totally wrong. Once she first got the first hearing implant, the father left. And so she's like, I'm worried that other people are going to leave me because of who I am, or and he's like reassuring her. I just thought that was really sad. But yeah, he tells her he wants her to stay, basically. And then I guess at some prior point, we didn't see, but one of the girls that he spoke with the night previously at the last ceremony, I think it was either Ryan or Brittany, basically told Matt that MJ, not only are Anna and Victoria a part of the bullying, but MJ actually kind of eggs it on. And so he talks to MJ about it on this second half of the group date. And he's like, yeah, like, are you bullying people? Because it seems like, I've been hearing your name tossed around in the bullying conversations. Like, is that true? And she's like, no, and she gets upset, and it's a whole thing. MJ tries to reassure Matt that, no, I don't bully people. I'm all about positivity. I don't do any of that stuff. I can't even believe anybody would mention my name or anything like that. So, and Matt, his acting skills are not the best. Like, he's like, I just can't even, like, bullying, like, it's just so, I can't even take, like, I don't even know, I can't even take that. Like, it's a whole thing. But yeah, it's funny. Once that is done, MJ goes out back into the room with the girls and is arguing with them and is like, I can't believe somebody mentioned that I was bullying. And basically Jasenia is like, girl, you were bullying people. Yeah, you were. And they're going back and forth. I don't know, it's kind of boring and kind of silly at this point. It's the next day. It's the next day in the house again. And it's time for another one-on-one date with Matt. And Kit, the 21-year-old, gets the one-on-one date. And they're going to cook. They bake cookies. That's their date. Like, what I thought was interesting is, and maybe I wasn't paying attention that hard, she didn't even get like two portions of the date. She only got to bake cookies with him, and that's it. Did they sit in the hot tub at all or anything? I can't quite remember if she got like a second half. Like, she only baked cookies with him and that's it. And they talked. And while she's very pretty girl, and her mother is Cynthia Raleigh, a famous fashion designer. And Kit opens up about living underneath her mother's shadow and how it's kind of made her a little cold, and she's kind of isolated herself from certain people because for whatever reason, you know what I mean? It's made her less vulnerable, and she would like to open up and share more things with people. And the vibe, I don't know. I don't think the chemistry is there. I don't think he's feeling her like that. Again, she's really young. She's only 21. Like, I don't get it. And but yeah, the vibe is not the best. I don't think that they're feeling each other like that. I don't think they're for each other. So that was their date. Basically, they just baked cookies. That's it. Another thing I noticed is she basically said, "I'm falling for you," and he didn't say it back. All the other girls who told him like, "I like you" so far, he's like reciprocated. He didn't say it back. He made a toast, but he didn't say "I like you" back, or I'm feeling the same way, or anything like that. He didn't say that. I think she's gonna go home the next episode. And so this final part of the episode is so silly. We get Jacinia versus MJ on, and Matt's gonna get down to the bottom of why they're arguing, and you know, we get this whole like extra dramatic showdown between them. They both pack up their things because I guess Matt's gonna choose either one. He's either gonna choose MJ or Jacinia. He's not gonna choose both. So they grab their suitcases and they drag them up to the, I don't, they're doing the whole thing, and they like they walk down the opposite hallway, like facing each other, like, and like mean mugging each other the whole time. And they sit down on the couch across from each other and they're talking. And I think it's simple. MJ, you were bullying. Like, you were, even though your role was really light, it wasn't as serious as what Victoria or Anna did. You were a part of the bullying. And Jacinia is right. Like, that's what it is. I personally think that we're getting down to the wire with the girls, and he's not feeling MJ like that, so she's gonna go home. And I don't think he's feeling Jacinia like that, so I feel like she's gonna go home at the next rose ceremony. I don't think he's feeling either of them, so that's that. So the episode ends with them sitting across from each other, arguing. It's all very silly and stupid. So yeah, that's that. Looking forward to the next episode. Hopefully, I want to see who gets down, who he's going to choose. I feel like, right, as of right now, it's Michelle, Rachel, and I'm not sure if there's a third girl. Oh, and Chelsea. That's who I feel like right now are the top contenders. We'll see. But let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments below, and I will see you next time.